Welcome back, everybody, to Maniacal Music Musings. I am your host, Jeremy, as always, a marvel among men. You know me, I'm dirty in my mysterious ways. I like to get my head together by dancing on your grave when you piss me off. Got so many bitches on my mind because of you, but, bitch, stop lying. You know it's not true. I didn't do that shit. I am who I am, and I'm here until my life after death. Roundhouse in these motherfuckers. I'm sorry, I should have better. Row house in these motherfuckers until they've had enough. But welcome back, folks. If you may notice, my beautiful co-host is not next to me this time. She had some personal stuff to take care of, so I reached out to an old friend of the show and said, "Hey, let's do an episode this week." And then the guest didn't want to show up either, so we're gonna bro it out and freaking talk about two amazing albums. Welcome back, Mr. CJ the Music God Plane, everybody.
What up, brothers?
That's right, folks. A music god and a music lover here to talk about two albums that they actually really rank high. So it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be interesting. We'll miss Jamie, but she'll be back next week, hopefully. And we'll be back to a regular scheduled program then. But until then, how you doing tonight, CJ?
I am great, man. Busy day, but we got through it and trying to get through these college assignments. I started a new course this week, and my very first assignment was creating color palettes. And guess who's colorblind? So right from the beginning, I was like, Houston, we have a problem.
Well, if I was you, I would create a palette of all gray colors and be like, if they say shit about it, just be like, bitch, this is all I see.
Well, if you've ever seen any of my art or any of the graphics that I post, the one thing you will notice heavily is that I use a lot of neon green and purple. It's essentially because those are the only two colors I can really differentiate between the shades of. So most of my stuff looks like a big purple neon sign. So I warned him ahead of time that you're going to get a lot of green and purple, and you're going to get a lot of black and white, and because that's basically what I can sort of see.
Decipher, yeah, that's all you can decipher. So of course, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they literally have to go along with it because it's a disability technically, so they can't. It's illegal for them.
Yeah, no, he wasn't mad about it. He just was do your best, blah blah blah. I just thought it was funny because, I had just finished a class with Adobe, and I detest Adobe. So
I'm not a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, so the teacher was like pretty much having to walk me like a freaking 2-year-old through all of the assignments because, Adobe is like Pro Tools. It's just unnecessarily complicated for no good reason.
So, as always, folks, we did bring a couple albums to talk about. It was supposed to be a third album, which is a fucking incredible album, but the guest canceled out, and luckily I was only about halfway through it when they canceled out. So I was like, all right, well, fuck you then. I'm not going to finish this album, even though I probably will at a later date because it's pretty fucking awesome. But as always, I'll let my guest go first. What album did you want to bring, CJ? And why this one?
Well, I brought this one because my original choice had already been used. So this was kind of like a second place. This was a sort of second place on the fly choice so that I could do it quickly. Had I known the guest wasn't going to show up, I would have went in a completely different direction. But anyways, the record that I brought is by the hip hop artist called Diabolic. It's called The Disconnect. He's a New York rapper. He's from Long Island. So, it's in that same area as like Nems and a few other New York guys that,
Yeah, all right.
This
I
is,
didn't. I
this
didn't.
is his newest record. It's not his best record. It's his newest one. Um,
I mean, shit. I mean, all right. Well, okay. I'll let you finish before I get into what I think.
no, I was going to
But
say his record "Liar and a Thief" is one of my top 5 all-time records. It's a record that him and Immortal Tech wrote a lot of the songs together for. So It's got that more political leaning. It's very ruthless. It's a very ruthless record. As you can imagine, having Immortal Technique on there. So
exactly. I mean, well, I'm gonna start us off by saying I've heard of Diabolic, but I never really had a chance to actually like dig into him. I think I've heard him on a couple guest spots, but other than that, like I never really. I honestly don't remember where I heard him from, but I know I heard the name, and I. If this is not his best album, then I'm almost scared to hear his best album because this album blew me the fuck away. Like it,
yeah.
This album is fucking phenomenally done, and it's funny you say he's from New York City because like it's. I'm like, is he from Boston? I'm like, he sounds like Slaine almost. Like that's how he reminded me of is Slaine a lot.
He's got that delivery like Slaine.
He really does. And I mean, I love Slaine, so which we were talking about earlier, ironically enough, but I fucking love Slaine and anything he's in. So I was like, shit. I'm like, all right, I could dig this guy. And then, I mean, I was blown away. I honestly was so blown away. I don't even know what to think of it. Like, I was almost like, damn, he's better than Natas or any of the other bands rappers I brought on lately. But I fucking Diabolic. Fucking, I gotta go check out the rest of his stuff because I mean, it was hard. It was hard.
He's got sort of a R.A. the Rugged Man type of delivery with his punchlines. Like he's,
Yeah, I could definitely hear that. I could definitely hear that in his music, and I mean, the delivery like Slaine and R.A. the Rugged Man combined, kind of, I guess, and his beats remind me of almost Nas to some degree. Like his beats remind me of Nas's beats, which I mean,
they're very big and propulsive.
I mean, they're both from NYC, so that's not hard to believe, honestly. But it's just, I almost want to know who his DJ is. But
C Lance does a lot of his.
Oh,
that's why.
All right, I was gonna say, I know that fucking name, Beats by C Lance. I've heard that so many times, but
C Lance does a lot of the stuff for him, Apathy, Mercules, Webby, whatnot. So.
Let's not dampen the night by talking about Webby. So I know I couldn't pick just a top 5 on this album. There's no fucking way in hell I could. But what were your top, however many you have lists? Because I definitely don't have 5 myself. I have plenty more.
I have 5 and 2 honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions are the songs "Dirty" and "Collide."
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of more towards the beginning of the record. This is the record where he starts out really strong, then he kind of comes down a little bit,
about
the third way through, and then by the end, he just goes out with just a flurry of like.
I definitely caught that. I definitely caught that.
I don't know if it was intentional, if it was just they kind of, I don't know if it was intentional or if it was just a case of they didn't put the tracks the way they should have, like if it was just poor decision making on the label part. But number 5 is Roundhouse. I love the opening to that where they use the Christopher Walken bit where he's like, I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to kick you on this side of your face.
Oh, that's where that's from. I knew what it was from. I just couldn't freaking
Yeah.
picture who was saying it. Like, but
So, and then number 4 is What I Want. Number 3 is Lumberjack. Number 2 is Holy War. I love the back and forth in Holy War. It reminds me of some of the stuff DMX did.
It's not on my list at all, but I almost feel like it should have been on my list. But I will say it's reminiscent to me of like Slim Shady and Dre and Guilty Conscious.
Yeah, it's got that back and forth between like two characters. And my number 1, obviously, is Buddy Lembeck because it's got Vinny Paz and Method Man on it. It's just a ridiculous fucking song.
Does it?
Yeah.
Spotify does not credit them on it.
I know it. I know they don't credit them, but trust me.
I mean, it makes sense. I thought I heard similar voices.
One, and then Vinny comes in, and then Bollock is at the end. But yeah.
Oh. Funny enough, I actually just made a Method Man bracket playlist up the other day.
Oh, nice.
I got a Method Man one and a Wu-Tang one. So methods, I got two brackets with a lot of Method on them. But and of course, Method's bracket is pretty much a quarter Wu-Tang songs to begin with. But yeah, I had 4 honorable mentions because this album was so phenomenal. I couldn't not have 4 honorable mentions. There's no way I could have. I kept saying I need to stop adding so many songs to this list, and I'm like, I can't. They're fucking so good. But my first honorable mention is Lumberjack, mainly because of that one line. My dick is enough to make a bitch blush like Maybelline. Like I fucking love that line. That line every time.
He's got ridiculous punchlines, dude. Like that's why I say he reminds me of Rugged Man. And the way he uses punchlines, almost like boxing punches, man. Like he'll flow into them so effortlessly. Yeah. Like his punchlines are like
you don't. It's not like Hobson where like you hear like the beat start getting faster as he start about to deliver like a sick line. Like I really would have to rewind it and be like, what did he just say?
Yeah. Like, Jesus. Or either what did he just say or holy shit, wait a minute, did he really just say that?
Yeah, my dick is enough to make bitch blush like Maybelline. I fucking love that line. And what's going on, Harley? I'm not ignoring you. Sorry. Of course you're watching. I'm not surprised. My next honorable mention was Lost in Translation. I thought that was a really good song. And then my other 2 honorable mentions, Pyrex was a fucking amazing song.
Yeah.
And Fable. Like, just the name of that, the name of that, I kind of knew it was going to be fire. Then I was like, okay, I'm right. It's fire. Like, it's, but that only makes my top 5 even better because my number 5 was Collide. I fucking love that song. Same with number 4, Enough. Like, that, the attitude and energy behind that song, like when you just are fed up with someone's bullshit, like I could relate that song so fucking much. Like, Enough is an amazing song. And just so you know, if you wear stuff in the private chat, the people in chat and comments can't see it.
Oh, shit.
That's for people on the show. But, all good. And my number 3 was Roundhouse. Making bitches scream like they're in a scene with Norman Bates. Like, that's one of those fucking lines. I was like, oh my God, he just said that. He just fucking said that. Oh, I'm like, that's fucking incredible. And my number 2 was Dirty because Dirty is a fucking. I knew as soon as I saw a song called Dirty, I'm like, this is gonna be fire. And once again, not wrong. But my number 1, you did not mention my number 1, and I am surprised because my number 1 is the fucking opener, Marvel. The amount of comic book references in that fucking track.
I knew that was gonna be probably one of your top 2. That's a song that. It's an incredible track because he literally he raps pretty much the entire Marvel hierarchy in a really cool way. I'm just not a comic book guy, so a lot of the references in that song kind of go like this to me. So
I
but
mean,
it is a very cool song. Like it's a very intelligent song. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those songs that if you're not a comic fan like me, you're gonna completely miss it. If you're a comic fan or a superhero movies
I
fan,
mean,
you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, that
I
was
mean,
fucking great!"
I'm used to like swollen members like referencing like certain Marvel heroes and their songs and shit.
Right.
Mainly Spider-Man, Silver Surfer. But I mean, to hear a rapper fucking mention Scarlet Witch before like
That's what I'm
Scarlet Witch,
saying. Like he goes through the whole fucking from A to Z for
oh,
Marvel, bro. Like
I he does not do that. He doesn't. Marvel has so many characters it would take you a 30-minute song to actually hit them all easily. But he hits most of the more popular ones and he does it well. So I'm not complaining. I don't expect anybody to hit everybody in the Marvel catalog because it'd be a
no, but
fucking long.
he hit like 60 or 70.
Oh, he definitely. I mean, he definitely hit a few dozen at least. I mean, it was phenomenal because like I've had friends before who like or like my one friend Gio from one of my jobs in the past like was like, oh, you like comic books? He's like, check out this guy, and it was literally just this rapper fucking rapping like, oh, my boy so and so can knock out the Hulk. My boy so and so can knock out the Thing. Take him to the ring. I'm like, this isn't good. I'm like, this is just him trying to say his friends could beat up superheroes, and that's fucking bullshit and hilarious, and not even a good song. Like, this right here is how you use comic book references correctly. You don't fucking try to act like you're better than them. You throw them into the fucking song and make it work. Like Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! Like that's the first thing I thought today. Is I'm like, this is how you do a song about Marvel, right? Oh my god! And there's just the fact that he opened with that for this album. Like I had high hopes as soon as I heard that. I was like, oh my god, guys! I saw the name. I'm like Marvel. I'm like, okay, either he's going to be rapping about him being a Marvel or his rap career being marvelous, or I'm like, no, he's not actually going to hit Marvel and talk about Marvel. I'm like, pleasantly surprised though, pleasantly fucking surprised because oh my god, it was so good. And that will be the fucking song I put in this episode for sure from him. Like that's such a good song. But
Yeah, the only thing that could make that song better is to have like a verse in the middle somewhere of like Mad Child doing his thing.
yeah,
Like Mad Child could just. I mean, it's a great song in and of itself. I'm not taking anything away from it. Like I said, I don't normally list it because I'm not a comic book guy. So 50% of the references he talks about in there, they just kind of go over my head. And, I'm like, okay, cool line, but no freaking idea what most of the characters are. My comic book knowledge pretty much starts and stops with like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Lobo, and Gambit. So, uh, like and Blade. So,
mm-hmm.
um, I'm not a comic
Yeah.
book guy.
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to hear this. I'd love to hear Diabolic and Manchild do a fucking song together. If they haven't already, it would probably be phenomenal if they did.
I
Because
don't know if they did or
I
I
mean,
don't know if they did. I don't think they
Mad
have.
Madchild kind of dropped off in the last like decade though. Like he hasn't been doing like what he used to do. He still puts out albums here and there, but it's not anywhere like what he used to be on everybody's shit back in the day. Like everybody's shit. Like anybody
Right.
who had a fucking album coming out, Madchild having to hop on a track somehow. Like it's like he just teleported into different people's studios. I don't
So yeah,
understand how.
there's a song called "Fuck With," which features Diabolic, Sean Strange, and Madchild.
Okay, I will fuck with. I'll
So
have to check that out. I'll
I
have to check that
didn't.
out for sure.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean,
Oh, and then
Madchild is
apparently he's also on Madchild's song "Devil's Reject." So
that's where I know him from.
yeah. So and
That's
then
where I know Diabolic from because I
yeah,
fucking I know that song by heart.
yeah.
Devil's Reject.
So
Like, oh, that's from Madchild's golden era for fuck's sake. That's his golden era of solo music. But
Bollock is one of them guys who, he floats around in a lot of different circles, but he's not really a part of any one group. Like he's not part of Army of the Pharaohs. He's not part of Jedi Mind Tricks. He's not part of Snow Goons. He's not part of any one clique, but he kind of floats among them
yeah,
and does his own little thing.
which I
But
mean, yeah, makes sense. I
he's
I
done some records with a dude named Vanderslice. They did one called Collateral Damage, something like that. It's fucking hilarious. And then he did his best one is called Liar and a Thief. It's him and Immortal Technique on a lot of it, and I mean it is just.
I why have I heard of that? I mean, you mentioned it earlier, but now that you say that, I'm like, it came to me. I'm like, why don't I think? Why is that sticking out in my fucking head? I
They
can't
did a
think
video together for one of the songs, but it's. I mean, it's very political leaning, but like him and Tech Man, I mean, they go all in on this record, and I mean, it was recorded during like the end of the Bush second term, so like they go all in on Bush. Man.
Okay. If they're hating on him, I'm gonna fucking love it then. But but I mean, it's
like they go all in on Bush, bro. Like fucking,
so. Devil's Reject though. We're talking Dope Sick Mad Child era. Oh my god, I fucking love that album. I'm just gonna have to listen to that now that I know who Diabolic is, and I'm gonna have to be like, oh shit, yeah. But I didn't think he'd been around that long. But okay, that's like a
he's been around since. Oh shit, he's been around a while.
I mean, that's late 2000s, Mad Child.
So 2019, the same year as this, he did Collusion with Vanderslice. He did Fighting Words in 2014. Liar and a Thief was 2010. And the Foul Play mixtape was 2006. So he's been around since about 2006.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's right when Mad Child was doing that. So that's probably one of the first things he guested on.
That's Liar and a Thief, and that's the one that's like they go all in, dude. Like,
has he ever done I feel like he's been on one of Twisted's tracks too. Like, I can't think of which one.
He might have.
I feel like he was on one of Twisted's tracks once they came a little more into the rock realm and less in the rap realm. But I feel like he was on one of their tracks there. The name sounds familiar. It sounds like I feel like featuring Diabolic was on one of their albums, but I could be wrong. And
yeah, I'm glad you like him, dude. Like once Army of the Pharaoh, once you said that you'd already used that one, I was kind of like, okay, you know what? We're gonna go one of two ways here. We're gonna do Diabolic or we're gonna do Apathy. And I got to the Diabolic folder before I got to the Apathy one. So that would have been my next choice had not.
I would have been happy either way, honestly. But what's going on, Squatch Man? Thank you for watching. And what's going on, Phil? Glad to see you watching, buddy. But I think it's time. Let's go to our second final album of the night because I'm. See, it's funny. I brought up this. Well, I didn't bring this up. Actually, it might have been the guest we were supposed to have tonight. Part of the reason I wanted to bring this album is because his partner that he just did an album with, Anthony Lewin, when he was on the show, I'm pretty sure it was him. We were talking about Natas. I mean, it was either him or my boy.
We talked about it last time I was on. We were.
Oh, I know. We've talked about Natas a lot, but I believe this Anthony and I talked about it on the show we were on because it was like the only hardcore rap he really knew. So like he brought up Natas and I was like, oh shit, like I gotta bring them on a show eventually, and it just never happened because it just didn't line up with anything we were doing. So when he wanted to bring what he wanted to bring, I was looking in 1990 for an album to bring, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, there's really nothing in 1990 I want to bring. I mean, NWA had an EP that year, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, it's only like 4 tracks. I'm like, I'm not bringing that. And then there was a Big Daddy Kane album that year, and I'm like, that's possible. That's a possibility, 100%. But then I'm like, you know what? I looked up Nas, and I'm like, they have any albums in 90? And I'm like, 92? I'm like, close fucking enough. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to bring Natas, Life After Death, the first album they ever released as a group, and it's always been one of my favorite albums they did. It's such a classic album. And for those who don't know, Natas is Esham's the biggest name in it, but it's also Mastermind and TNT, and they
rest
are.
In peace.
Yes, rest in peace to TNT, I believe. Right, Mastermind's still alive. Okay, I thought so.
Mastermind's still alive. He's still
on Esham. Yeah, he's still on Esham's stuff. I know he is, but I mean, I always have loved Mastermind since he was on Esham's like first couple CDs. When I
Yeah,
got into
he's
Esham,
underrated.
and then I mean TNT. TNT to me is the weakest part of the group. Honestly, I'm
Yeah,
not that big a fan of TNT's verses, but Mastermind and Esham are fucking legendary Detroit rappers, and I freaking had to bring this album on. I had to, and the fact that you ended up taking over the co-hosting abilities for this one almost made it better because I'm like, I had picked it before I realized Jamie couldn't do this show, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, well, CJ can do it. That he fucking, I know he loves Natas, so this would be fucking a good show then. And the
this is my
guest album,
favorite Natas
I know,
record. So.
and I know you love the guest album because I know one of your favorite songs is on that album. So I was like, shit. I'm like, this is definitely a CJ episode if he can come
Yeah,
on. And I'm like, all right, well, we can't talk about the album the guest wanted to bring on, unfortunately, because that's a good album. But I'm like, fuck it,
yeah,
we'll still
it
talk
has
about
my
it.
favorite Prince song on it. So.
I know it does. I know it does. Which I didn't even get to that song today because it's so far down the track list. But
I didn't realize it was on there. Like for some reason, I was thinking that was on a different Prince record, um, and I was listening to it, and when it got to it, just I was doing something. I subconsciously was just kind of listening, and as soon as it started, I was like, and I was like, "Yo, that's the jam." And it's like, was that on there? Like, I don't remember that being on there. And then I looked it up and I was like, "Yeah, that's the jam right there." And then I had to play it like 4 or 5 times. So,
yeah, I only got like 6 or 7 tracks in on that album, and then I found out the guest couldn't make it. So I was like, all right, I'm done with this album. And I'm like, that saves me time today because I didn't know if I would have time to listen to 3 whole albums today. It would have
right,
been close. It was already a close one with these two. So because neither of these albums was exactly short. So
yeah.
especially mine. Mine was a lot
Well,
longer
I
than I
wanted
remember it being.
that was the thing. Like, really, my first choice was the Chino XL one.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said it, I was like, wait. And I looked it up and I was like, I forgot that's his double record. That's got like 35 songs on it. And
I
it's like 2 hours and 34 minutes.
which
So I was like, I'm not trying to kill everybody.
which I've heard that record. I like Chino to some degree, but
Yeah.
it's just that record's great. It's just oh my
It's
god,
long.
that would have killed my timing today. That would have killed my timing at work trying to listen to these albums. I still gotta get my calls in, man, and listen to
Right.
that
That's
long
what I
album.
said. I just went with this one instead because
We we had a guest a month or two ago, like 2 months ago now, probably definitely, bring Epic the musical, and it's it's a TikTok musical based. The playlist is on Spotify in full if anyone wants to listen to it, but it's a TikTok musical based on the Odyssey, and it's
okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I as a musical fan, I was blown the fuck away. The it's like freaking anything Lin Manuel Miranda does, but better.
Okay.
Because this guy who put together TikTok is 100 times better of a performer and apparently a decision maker than Lin Manuel Miranda is in every way. Javier something. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, dude, but it's Javier something. He's a freaking genius. He wrote this whole thing. He's a genius, and he actually auditioned all these different TikTok singers to be on the show or to be in his musical. They haven't even done it like live on Broadway or anything yet, or any live adaptation of it. They've only done it on. They only recorded it through TikTok during COVID and then released it all on Spotify and YouTube. So it's I hope it gets picked up someday and gets put in a theater because I want to see it live. It'd be fucking phenomenal. You'd love it. You would really freaking love it. Like there are parts of it that are rap, there are parts of it that are rock. Like it's actually a really good fucking. It's like it's easily I want to say it's like possibly no, it's not 4 hours long. It's like 2.5 hours long, something like that. 100%. It's got to be that long. It's 4 different sagas that they released it in. I think it's yeah, they broke it. They broke the Odyssey into 4 different sagas, and they did a great job of it though. The one track monster is fucking phenomenal. But we had a guest bring it on about a month ago. That episode just released about a month ago as well. I I I love that freaking musical. I would go back and listen to it for it's so damn long. But and there are parts of it that long, but other than that, it's phenomenal. But back to Natas. And for those who don't know, if you can't figure it out from the banner, Natas is literally Satan spelled backwards, which is fucking the fun part of it because it's hardcore to the fullest. But I'm not gonna lie, my list on this one's kind of long because it's a long album and it's freaking phenomenally done. It's Isham at his one of his greatest parts of his career, so I'm 100% down for that. But I'll let my guest talk about what he thought about it before I go into my list.
So I'm with you. I didn't go like long winded on it because there's really not a bad song on this record. This record actually has more Mastermind on it than anyone else. Mastermind starts the majority of these songs.
Oh, he does, yeah.
And this was the one record where he did the most on. This was the record where he was really heavily involved. TNT never really had inspirations to be a rapper. He was just the cousin of Isham, so he kind of got drug into it, and it was more of a hobby than it really was a full-time thing for him. So,
like Jump Steady, okay.
Yeah, more or less. So yeah, he wasn't as polished. Mastermind is somebody, and I know I'm going to get all kinds of fucking hatred for this, and I don't even give a shit. You hear people from Detroit talk all the time about Bizarre, and you rarely hear them talk about Mastermind. When the reality is, Bizarre is a fat fucking clown who is just completely fucking terrible. Nobody should be listening to Bizarre. Mastermind should be the one everybody should be talking about, and everyone wants to talk about that fucking clown.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, out of the two of the, out of the duo that is Bizarre and King Gordy, because they're usually together on shit.
Gordy is phenomenal.
Gordy is the phenomenal rapper. Bizarre is the drunk uncle of rap that walks in and talk raps a few verses and then walks out.
Pretty much.
Like
he doesn't even talk rap. He stutter raps. And I got to put this out there. One of the greatest diss tracks all time. I know people talk about Ice Cube, No Vaseline. They talk about the Kendrick track, the Drake thing, all of that. But if you've never heard Royce da 5'9's Malcolm X diss against Bizarre and D12, oh, it's fucking phenomenal. Like he fucking disses Bizarre, where he's like, calls him a stuttering fat fuck. He's gonna lure him out on the porch with a bag of cheeseburgers. Dude, it's fucking great. Like he just rips them apart. Talking about Swifty McVeigh's overrated and going to be mowing his lawn in 5 years.
I mean, D12 was a horribly failed experiment that only got popular because of Eminem. But
yeah,
and literally the best song on the album they put out was "It Was My Band" because Eminem did all the rapping. But
like if you ever get the chance to hear the Royce da 5'9 Malcolm X diss track, you'll laugh your ass off. It's fucking phenomenal.
I actually haven't heard it, but I mean, because I like what they did with Last American Rock Stars when they signed up with Magic Ninja. I like what they did with that album, but Gordy, King Gordy, Lord Vader himself is fucking the king of fucking Detroit, in my opinion, for that, as far as that whole clique goes with Eminem's friends. Everybody else is just
Fat Father, Aztec the Barfly, which is another guy. If you've never heard Aztec the Barfly, fucking phenomenal. Bang Belushi.
I've heard the name Aztec. I just never freaking dug into him.
Bang Belushi is phenomenal. Foul Mouth produces pretty much all of them. There's so many great Detroit hip hop artists that should be famous. Anywho, top 5 for this one.
Well, let me get mine out. Actually, I'll let you go first because mine's gonna be long.
Go ahead. Go ahead if you want to do yours first.
No, mine's gonna be long. I'll let you go first because mine's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, mine's short and sweet to the point. Number 5 is Rocket Deadly. Number 4 is Dancing on Your Grave. Number 3 is Bitch Stop Lying. Hilarious song. It's got some really great sound clips in there. Number 2 is the title track, Life After Death. But my favorite song that I always crank up You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? The fucking beat of that song, man, is like dun 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 dun, and fucking in a car, man, it just bounces like it is so fucking propulsive, man. Like it's just one of them songs where you're like.
I am not going to disagree, and you'll see why. But
yeah, so dance is my favorite. It has been for years. I think it's like what track 2, track 3, something like that.
It's right in the beginning. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. It's I had to have 6 honorable mentions for this one because it's a fucking long ass album and it's phenomenal. I mean, there are tracks I can. There honestly are tracks I can do without and be fine. They could have cut some of the ones I didn't pick, and I would have been fine with it. But my honorable mentions, and I'm gonna kind of fly through these because why not? Life After Death was my first honorable mention because I put it on the list immediately, and it just kind of got shut down, like further and further. Bad Guys Never Lose is a classic in my mind, but it's still my honorable mentions because it's just not top 5 material. But Bad Guys Never Lose is a classic song. And Isham has used that song title in a lot of other songs too, where he drops that as like a lyric, like "Bad guys never lose, so I'm destined to win." Like, I almost feel like he did it in not Murder Go Round.
Murder
God, no, the Game of Death. He uses it in the Game of Death. Yeah, it's the song that ICP ripped off from Murder Go Round. But yeah. One Time for Your Mind is another classic. I freaking always have loved that song. Who Am I? That song's good. It's good. Bitch Stop Lying and Bitches on My Mind are my last 2 honorable mentions. They're both amazing songs, and I like how dirty they get in them. It's always fucking fun. Yeah. My number 5 on the same track though was Dirty Mind because that song's fucking. The lyrics in that song are phenomenal. Number 4 for me was Get My Head Together. Like, I love that song. My number 3 was a song I honestly didn't remember, but I fucking was happy I got to listen to it again, and that's Mysterious Ways.
Yeah.
Because that Beastie Boys beat sample and Isham's voice with it is magic. Like, Isham's voice on a Beastie Boys beat, I'm 100% down for it any time of the day.
They sampled the Beastie Boys a ton on this.
Oh, they did, yeah. I mean, well, everybody knows, as Aaron from Yaha pointed out, when I had him on the show and I brought Isham is a sample king. He samples every fucking thing he can. But my number 2 was Dancing on Your Grave. It's a fun fucking song. It's a really, I love that song. The attitude behind it, the emotions behind it. And my number 1 as well was Dance, and I literally wrote next to it, sick fucking beat.
Yeah.
and yes, the fucking the pulling out the whole freaking Joker quote of "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" is fucking makes it even better. It really does. But and actually, if I'm not mistaken, on one of the tracks in this album, they pulled a Prince sample.
Yep, couple of them.
I mean, I know Isham looks up to Prince always, but still, like, it's pretty cool to hear it actually because he never did. I never really heard that any of his solo stuff, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm happy I could bring this finally. I'm happy I could bring a Natas album. I wish Jamie was around to hear it. Like, I kind of wanted her take on it because I haven't really introduced her to Isham yet, but she'll get it eventually. I've only brought the first 3 Isham albums, I think. So I got plenty more to bring because he's been releasing shit for 30 years straight.
You should bring the new.
It's on my short list. Remake. It's on my short because I listened to it after you posted about it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I mean, I was never a huge fan of the original Closed Casket because it wasn't that great. But that's when Isham started to fall off kind of for a bit. But I mean, until he came back after like his psychopathic shit. But
that was kind of he fell off for a minute. That was an uptick. Then he kind of fell off again for a few.
I mean, to me, he fell off after Kill the Fetus. But
so that one has the song Flatline on it, and that's another one that has that massive fucking bass line in it, like Dance. That it's another one of those, got that
Yeah.
thing. So on the new one, my friend Ryan is his guitar player now and his producer now. And Ryan,
Oh shit.
and you can look him up on Facebook. It's Ryan Severa, Sevra, and Ryan has done amazing things for Isham, and they've actually got his brand new record coming out. It's called Golden Age. It's coming out here in another month or two. I think end of June, early July.
Isham's got a new album coming out. What?
Yeah, it's called the Golden Age.
Fucking A.
And I'm really hoping Ryan kind of hinted at it. Don't take this as gospel, but there's rumors or rumblings that they may do the same thing with the Black Roses record.
With what?
The Black Roses record.
I don't think I ever heard that one even. I mean, there's a whole period in there around when he did like Bruce Wayne, Gotham City, and all that shit.
Right after, probably. Hold on. Oh, or Dead Roses. Maybe it's Dead Roses.
Oh, Dead Roses. That makes more sense. Yeah, I think I do remember that one. Yeah, Dead Flowers.
That's it.
That was its fifth studio album. Yeah. Oh, I know the cover of that one. The one with Tony Montana on it.
That's what I was thinking that.
Yeah, Tony Montana and Charlie Manson's on it. Yeah.
Tony Montana. Black Orchid. That was what I was thinking of. Black Orchid, and also it's got the song One Day, and there's rumblings that they may do the same thing with that one.
I mean, he already did it with Judgment Day, but I would end with his first CD. He already released those as remasters, but maybe. I would love to see Kill the Fetus released as a redone album. Yeah. I think it'd be
one too. That
I mean, that's not my favorite album of his. Well, actually, okay. Funny story, real fast, because Aaron, and he the first episode, the only episode of Maniacal Music Musings regular that he's ever been on, he brought oh my god, I'm gonna fucking forget the name right now. But he brought the sample from Kill the Fetus in the beginning. He brought them on. I'm forgetting. Mother Earth has been pregnant for the third time. Maggot Head. Yeah.
It's Funkadelic. It's a Mega Brain Theory.
Yeah, he brought on Funkadelic Maggot Brain Theory.
Yeah, that's a sick record.
As soon as he sent me that album, and I was listening through it to like try to find the album, as soon as I heard that line, like Mother Earth has been pregnant, I was like, oh, I know what I have to bring on for this.
Yeah.
But
that was one of the records where George Clinton and Huey went like way out, and
that actually was his first album. That was the first episode he was on that he brought that album in. Like I brought on Isham Kill the Fetus, and he was like right away he's like I'm not a fan of horrorcore rap in any single form or way. He's like, and he literally had the list of samples from each song he picked. Like, and it was like 20 samples per fucking song usually.
Yeah,
but I mean that's Isham for you.
Yeah. So,
but I mean I'm so happy I did that to him because I had to bring it on once he brought in Maggot Brain Theory. I'm like, I fucking had to. But
yeah, I got in trouble with that one because my oldest son, when I bought the record, I brought it home and I had like this I had one of the old Kenwood stereos. And my oldest son was probably about a year and a half old at the time or something. Had just started to talk, wasn't talking a lot, but could sort of mimic words.
Yeah.
And I put the CD on. I had never heard the whole CD. It was my first time listening to it. So I put the CD on, turned the Kenwood like way up. I had it just blasting. And I'm in the kitchen doing the dishes, and I hear this voice. Pussy ain't got no face. Pussy ain't got no face. I was like, wait, what? I walked in the living room, and he is standing on the couch with his hands on the back of the couch, and he's bouncing on the couch, singing along to the song. And I was like, oh, fuck. And right about the time, his mother walked in, and she's like, really? And I was like, I apologize. I didn't know what was on the CD. I was doing the dishes. I didn't even realize that he had come out of the bedroom to the living room.
That's off Ejon's Booming, too. That's off his first album, that Pussy Ain't Got No Face.
Is that what it was? Booming Words from Hell?
Yeah, it's Booming Words from Hell.
Okay, maybe that's what I was listening to then. But it was the one that had that on it. And he was in the living room just bouncing on the couch, just singing along. Like he knew the song for his whole life, but he was singing with his whole chest too.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I heard about that for about a month after that. Every time.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Thank God I told my kids a long time ago, they get paid to say this stuff. You don't, so don't ever repeat anything my music says. But
yeah. I'm more choosy now about what I.
You gotta be. But what up, Glenn? How's it going, homie? Hey, Glenn.
I didn't know it was on there though. That was literally why.
I mean that whole Booming Words from Hell album is fucking full of, oh my god, songs like literally talking about beating the shit out of bitches and stuff. It's like, what the fuck, dude? But what up, Glenn? If you want to be on the Led Zeppelin bracket this Saturday, Glenn, hit up me or Harley. We'll get up with it. But since
why the hell would he want to do that?
Because it's okay. Apparently Phil has found out since he picked this bracket that there are a lot of people out there that detest Zeppelin, which I never thought was a thing either. But
I don't. You know what? I like Zeppelin. I don't like Robert Plant.
No. Well, okay. Actually, that's funny. That's funny because Phil said yesterday he's like, yeah, Jimmy Page was a piece of shit off of the stage, but he's like, Robert Plant's a cool guy.
Yeah, but I don't like his voice. It's like with Geddy Lee. I like Rush. I like Rush's music. I just wish they could strip away Geddy's singing because after about 3 songs, that voice is just like nails on a chalkboard.
Well, in a month and a half or so in July, when we get to the final part of the Led Zeppelin bracket, you might have to be the 7th part and final part because there are 235 songs in this bracket. But much to Aaron's dismay, because he's like, why do we need all these fucking remixes? I'm like, because it's Zeppelin and we're honoring the Lord Zeppelins. But you might want to be on the final part so you have a chance of picking the next one. But we'll see when that comes up.
What's going on? Dread Zeppelin?
No, I am not the biggest Zeppelin fan. I knew their hit. I knew their hits. I don't pick all these brackets I make off of things I like. I pick them off things that I know other people like as well to some degree. I ain't doing no fucking Eminem bracket. I ain't doing no fucking Nicki Minaj or Cardi B bracket. Fuck that. But I pick classic rock bands I know people really like.
So Dread Zeppelin was a parody band.
Oh, I know who they are, yeah.
Yeah, I say the singer was an Elvis impersonator. The band was a reggae band, and they did songs that were mashups of Elvis and Led Zeppelin, but they did them in a reggae style. So
I might have to give them a listen because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's very tongue in cheek, but it's really fucking hilarious. Like hearing, I Shot the Sheriff and House of the Holy mashed together.
I mean, I was singing it. I fucking love Elvis, so I might do that a shot. But
yeah, it's actually not bad. It's their live performances aren't that great, but the records were actually very well done, and I enjoyed Dread Zeppelin quite a bit. Like There's just something
And
about that.
actually, and for all my 20 of my watchers right now, and for all listeners of this episode, I actually yesterday just hit the 1,000th playlist I made on Spotify for my brackets.
Oh, nice.
And it was actually the first part of the Thin Lizzy bracket, but it's just randomly what it fell on. I didn't choose; it was just randomly fell on that one. I almost wish it was like 10 sooner because it would have fallen on the NWA bracket, and that would have made me a lot prouder. But
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want me to choose a bracket again. I chose this last one, and
I
walked
dude,
right into that one.
after the last bracket you got to choose, I fucking want you to. I mean, it's a music show. I want you to choose a music bracket. But
I was like, this sounds like it'll be good. And then you sent me the list, and I was like, what the fuck did I do?
Well,
like,
for those who don't know, because that's been announced yet on that show even. But
right.
on Paranormal Normal, the next bracket we will be doing is the first part of the Sex Horror Movies bracket, picked by CJ himself, and it's the first part.
The movies. I just picked the bracket.
It's the first part out of 8. So yes, there's going to be a lot of lower ranked movies on it, a lot of lower ranked movies. So it's the first part out of 8. Would
explain why I spit on your grave isn't in it. Because
I guarantee that. I guarantee that's in part 1. I mean in part 8. I guarantee that's in part 8 of it. But
yeah,
it's along with a lot of other famous movies. But
right.
I'm sure as I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the horror movie brackets we don't do in order, so it could be decades before we even get to the next part of the Sex Horror Movies brackets. Right. I mean, we're going to run out of stuff to do eventually, so eventually we'll get to all of them again. I mean, hell, the slasher brackets, the slasher movies bracket, which I haven't even put on the list since the first time we did it, is 900-something movies. So I haven't put it back on because I don't want to watch 32 slashers again. I'm fucking good. I can wait a little while. It's been a couple years. I can still wait a little while because every horror movie bracket has slashers on it, and I don't need to watch 32 specific slasher movies. Like, I'm good. Like, that was a hard fucking list originally, the first one. But, well, folks, we got off topic like crazy tonight, but oh well. It's been a fun show.
That's true to me, bro. That is always.
I don't expect anything different. And everybody knows I'm famous for going down wormholes too. So it is what it is. We had a good episode. We gave people the time, and we got to talk about other shit as well. So, and we got 6 likes. So apparently we're doing something right. But because I usually don't get that many for any show. So there you go. But where can they find you, CJ?
They can find me at Music God CJ Plain. Pretty much what you see on the screen, .rocks, all one word. That's my website. We're going to be updating it soon. This weekend, I'll be doing a show with Phil and them, I think. We're going to do the Tony Carey record, One Tough City, unless plans have changed for that. And also probably have you and Harley and Anthony, if I can get them on there.
Anthony?
We're going to be doing a bracket on the Loud List for the top 16 music-related horror films.
Wait a minute. Wait. Who the fuck's you mean Andrew?
Andrew, I'm sorry.
I'm like, who the fuck's Anthony? I'm like, who the fuck's Anthony?
Sorry, Andrew. But anyways, yeah. So we're gonna do top 16 music-related horror movies. We're not gonna go like real deep into the thing. We're just gonna take my 16. They're gonna be my personal 16 favorites. I'm gonna put them in a generator and just let the wheel of death choose the bracket.
I am 150% down for that. Just make sure you send me a list of all 16 movies so I can make sure I've seen them actually. But
yeah, you've seen the majority of these. It's going to have Trick or Treat, Black Roses. It's going to have Uncle Peckerhead.
I have not seen any of those 3 you mentioned, but let's.
Okay,
we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, just you can find me anywhere. Music God CJ Plain, YouTube, Apple. I'm on a network, SPDM network now for my Loud List. Jeremy's been on a couple episodes. We're going to do a couple more here soon because I need more content. So I'm going to rope him into doing something. But yeah, anyways, that's me.
Down. I'm 100% down to come back on the Loud List for another list. Always.
We still got to do the conspiracy theory one.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one. But And folks, you could find your musers, well, your typical two musers, uh, anywhere you can find podcasts, but on Facebook, we're represented by Squatchy Largefoot. On XX Baby in the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard. On TikTok as at Juggalo Bastard Podcast, even though I haven't posted anything there in years. And you can also find us on YouTube as Maniacal Music Musings. The only place to see everything we've ever fucking done is YouTube. Everything else, Spotify, lost half my fucking episodes when I transferred over services. So yeah, but YouTube is where it's all found. Until next time, we should be back next week with a regular guest, a regular episode, as long as my co-host is able. But if not, I'm sure CJ will be able to fill in or somebody else. But I'm sure. And come check out this Saturday at 5 p.m. East. Led Zeppelin Bracket Part 3. Like 2 or 3 different versions of Moby Dick for some reason. But come check it out. We'll be back then. Have a good one, everybody.